Hi there again. I am in the studio working on some larger pieces that are that they were for my November show that's coming up in November. But I was offered a show much sooner, so I did not want to let that pass. So I decided that several of these pieces that I was preparing for November will now be in the upcoming show in June. Um, So I've got a lot of work to do, to say the least. So a couple of things that have happened since we last here on the channel, my YouTube channel. I went to a discussion at one of the galleries that I've shown in before and will be showing in this future. And they have a series what they call God in the Gallery. And basically they have the artists that are on display current time come in and talk about their work and what inspires them. It's interesting. This gallery is owned by two gentlemen, couple that were both seminarians, I believe, and so they very much have a outlook on art, as I do, because a lot of you know I'm a retired minister, um, and I do believe that what comes through me here is coming through from a higher place, and I'm just the vessel for a lot of what comes through. I've always talked about how my paintings start. They come to me in flashes of color and shapes. Um, they come from an inspiration that's deeper than just my conscious level. It's a subconscious level, and whatever you call that subconscious level, God, universal intelligence, universal creation. It's coming from that place. So it's interesting to see other artists and other gallery owners that are also artists talk about their work in terms of that inspiration, that God inspiration. Now, for me, God can be a trigger of a word because it is always in my mind, whose God are you talking about? Is it that vengeful, hateful God that can strike you down at any moment? Or are you talking about that loving God that co creates with you in this world? So it depends on whose God the particular artist is talking about. Um, that affects the work. I don't believe in a vengeful, hateful God. I don't believe in a retributive God. I believe in a God that is creative on all levels, that creates through us. So that's where my work comes from. I can't separate myself from that belief. I can't separate myself from the knowledge that what I'm creating is coming through from a higher source. So these pieces in particular, how these develop, these pieces are from scribbling or scribing, as some people say. We all sit down and we'll be on the phone and we'll have a piece of paper and a pen in our hand and we'll be creating shapes and objects and designs. And those designs are actually studied by psychologists There are books written about our scribbling or our scribing and the higher meaning that they have. So I've taken some of those scribblings and I've put a base down of what those scribblings were, and now I'm allowing them to develop into something quite different, but still very organic. Uh, the shapes come to me, the areas that need to be developed more come to me in an organic way. I try not to push things. I try to let things unfold. So yeah, that's where I'm at now, particularly with these pieces. These larger pieces in the back and that smaller piece are a different series. I call that the River series, Dark River, Golden River, Red River. There's an Orange Moon, Gray River. Um, those have to do more with the flow of life. Um, we go through life, and the river that we're flowing on can be dark at times. It can be bright at times. It could be fast at times. It could be slow at times. But there are always spots in the river of life where we have refuge, where we have security, where we have peace and calm. No matter how that river takes us, how dark things get at times, there are always bright spots. So those are what that series is based on. This is the scribing series. Um, don't know where these will go eventually. Sometimes I put things aside and then I get back to them at a later date. Right now, I'm working in series of threes or fours. There's four of those. There's three of these. I have two smaller pieces or three smaller pieces that kind of relate to this. There's always sort of a theme that goes through my work: um, object shapes, design, color. There always seems to be some connection between all of those things. So that's where I'm at now, and I'm very excited to be have been asked and honored to be asked to do a basically a one-man show in this gallery that's coming up very shortly. It also pushes me to take the ideas that I have in my head, because I have a whole bunch of ideas in my head, and to translate them onto the canvas, into shapes. I also want to get back to doing my cut pieces that are made out of plywood and canvas and foam, the shaped pieces. I have some new ideas for those things. So there's a lot happening, and it's all good. So I'm going to continue on for a little bit more. Um, I will probably come back at some time when these are all finished and give you a little bit of a look at them finished before they go on to the gallery. Um, but it's been interesting. We had a great time in New Jersey. I did some gallery hopping. I went to a couple of galleries. It's something that I do wherever I go. That's something that I encourage other people to do. Art is sometimes looked at as for other people. People don't understand it, or they don't have an appreciation for it, or they think it's too expensive. There are a lot of little galleries all around the country that have very, very fine art, very good art. No matter what you're into, whether you're into abstract, whether you're into portrait or figurative, landscape painting. Um, there are so many artists that are so talented in this area. The community of people that I'm involved with, they are so talented. Their work is amazing, and it's not out of reach for the average person. And I really encourage people to get art in their lives, get real art, something that has a hand to it, something that somebody has created. I have a couple of rules when it comes to putting art in my house. Is It has to be hand done, and it has to be something that speaks to me. I don't decorate with art in the way that the painting matches the flowers on the sofa. That's decorating. That's not choosing art that says something to you. So I encourage people to do that. Get out when you're out and about this summer, wherever you are. Stop in a gallery. Take a look around. See what you're interested in. See what speaks to you, and start a collection. Start a small collection. Start out small. It's the way Sam and I started out, very small, and we still buy pieces that are inexpensive. I just recently bought a portraiture um, that wound up being $12.50. Hand done, oil on canvas, $12.50. Um, it was a bargain to say the least. I was attracted to it before I knew what the price was, and the price just made it a little sweeter, and I couldn't walk out without it. So check out your galleries, check out your local galleries, check out online galleries. I have friends that are buying art from all over the world right now. It's very easy. There are auctions, there are sites, websites that artists set up themselves. Get into art. All right. Thanks a lot. I will see you guys later. Talk to you later. I don't know where my little control is, but I'm going to sign off.